So Michelle, tell me specifically in about 3 words what you do.
I'm a certified human performance technologist.
That's about 4 words, but that's impressive. What is that?
It means that I've studied and been validated in my industry to help people optimize talent, human talent. So, you know, we go into companies and help them figure out what makes people tick,
Yeah.
and maybe how to make them tick faster.
Nice. Let's start with culture. Why does culture impact the business, and how does it?
Culture is often defined as how you do things, the way we do things in a certain family or in a certain business. So culture drives performance. And if an organization has a culture that is engaged, that's motivated, that's focused, performance is increased. Performance directly results or impacts the results of the organization. So in a farm family, for example, or a farm business, the more engaged, focused, and motivated the staff are, the better the bottom line. So it's very, very important. And a lot of farms don't recognize that culture does drive performance, you know, and especially in a family business. Families often don't realize that culture is something to think about.
Okay. Give me 1 or 2 ideas of how to better find talent and keep it.
Better ways to find and keep talent. Probably the topic that keeps most farm businesses awake.
Mm-hmm.
Used to be weather. Weather
Really?
was sort of like the talk of every farmer,
Sure.
right? Now what keeps them awake, and the biggest challenge, or one of the biggest challenges, is people, definitely. You know, what I've seen across the country, especially in the last probably 5 to 6 years in particular, is finding talent has become more strategic. Farmers need to create what we refer to as an EVP, which is an employee value proposition. It's kind of the what's in it for me. Why would I choose this farm over that farm to work at? The appealing factor, also referred to as the branding. So we're saying to farmers, you need to brand your farm now as a great place to work, as a good leadership team, or a good, a good culture. So finding people now is a bit more strategic, and it's a bit more about that value proposition. Keeping people is a whole different topic. You know, it's about the leadership, it's about the culture, it's about having clarity of vision. So it's a lot of elements in the managing. So finding is difficult, but now to manage and keep is also difficult as well. However, difficult for some, but for others, it's actually a really engaging sort of part of being a business owner.
So you mentioned branding, for instance. I find that a challenging concept, to think that that could help me with recruiting. Seriously?
Think about the why factor. So as somebody's looking for a position, unlike years ago where you put an ad in the paper and said, I need help, and then you would wait for people to come and line up to your door, it's changed. It's changed drastically. People are now researching farms, and they're going onto websites, they're asking other employees what it's like to work on that farm. So they're more selective now, because they recognize, employees recognize, that they spend a lot of time at work. There's a lot of their life is in the job. So they're a little pickier now. So the branding is important, because if you're not branding, you might be losing out on some talent.
You do a number of presentations for Farm Credit about top traits. Is there one in particular that stands out that, in your view, is sort of absent on a typical farm?
Communication.
Oh, wow. That's simple, huh?
Communication, yeah, and I said that quickly. You know, again, as particularly in the family, the owner, the farmer, parents, for example, have all of this history and their thoughts in their brains, and often they're not able to articulate what they're thinking or doing or what they expect. And when you take a look at poor performance, be it at an employee level, family member or not, if somebody is not performing, the majority of the reasons why is that the leader hasn't articulated what they want. They haven't been able to communicate. So we spend a lot of time in the workshops talking about effective communication. And communication isn't only just clarifying expectations so that you do the job I want you to do, but also to give feedback that's effective. So feedback that people actually understand and value. So communication it's involved in so many ways. And in families in particular, we don't communicate very well.
Interesting. Thanks for talking with us.
Thank you.